Hi, in this video I will talk about relative extreme values. So far the work we have done was about max, relative max point and relative mean point. So basically we were looking for what are the relative maximum points and relative minimum points. These points, these are a pair of numbers, first and second one. But most of the time, what is important is the value of the function. Value of the function at these points. So f at AB, if AB is a max point, if AB is called relative max value rather than a point value of f. And similarly, if you evaluate function, this when you evaluate, it's a number, not a pair of numbers. F at AB is called relative mean value of f. And this is the new terminology that we would use, which instead of relative max point, you will hear me find relative max value of the function, or instead of having minimum points, relative minimum point, you will hear me finding minimum value of f. There is also one good terminology which kind of puts under one umbrella of these two words. Instead of saying max or mean, you can just say relative extreme, some books write extremum, points. Again, extreme here means either max or mean. When you don't want to specify the nature of the max or mean point, you just use the extreme point. And similarly, we have a relative extreme values. When someone asks you for finding relative extreme value, it means that you have to find what are relative max or mean points and then evaluate function at those points. And another terminology that you may hear me using is maximizing and minimizing. Both of them means find max value of f and find mean value of f. And while again there's a word that puts these two things together, it's called optimization or optimizing. While in the real world examples, such as if I have functions like profit function or revenue function, basically we are trying to do in real life examples. In business examples especially, we do what? We try to maximize or maximize um, um, profit or, well, revenue. or we have cases that we can look for minimize cost or expenses. So these are the words we will use, and people would say, well, maximize means that find maximum value of f. There is one subtle things that in your book we won't mention, but in general, if you check other books or other courses, you will see that when someone says max value of f, it's not same thing as relative max value of f. While function can have several relative max value, but the highest one is called max value. And some books, most of the standard books, use absolute max value of it. We won't discuss absolute much. What you need to make sure that in the examples we are having, finding relative max value is what we are interested in. So in this part, in this unit of this section, I'm expecting you to understand the terminology and while use the d-test basically to find relative extreme points and then evaluate the function at those points and give me relative max, relative mean, or in general relative extreme values of